For millennia, First Nations ways of living, knowing, and being were protected. Our languages, our identities, and our sovereignty thrived. We were safe, we were strong. But with colonization, our sovereignty and the right to determine our own futures came under threat. Control and ownership over our ways of knowing and being began to break down, creating a void between who we are today and who the Creator intended us to be. Yet despite these hardships, we are a strong and resilient peoples with a proud history and an even brighter future. In this era of reconciliation, a new story is being written. This story sees us taking back what is ours. It sees us exercising our rights to self-determination and self-government. But to do this, we must also exercise our rights over our information, over our knowledge, over our data. In a rapidly evolving digital economy, data in the form of information, statistics, and research is key. To date, Canada has been and is still collecting our data, comparing our quality of life, and planning our futures without our input or consent. We have been forced to fit into a mold that is not of our making or of our choosing. So we are at a loss for reliable, relevant data that speaks for us from our worldview. Our data must belong to us. It comes from us. It connects us. It defines who we are, and it has the power to guide us in building our future in our own image. It is our asset, our legacy. Like all governments in the world, our own governments must be empowered by reliable data to do their jobs, to make informed decisions, and to plan for the future. For this reason, our leaders have been advocating for rights over our data. However, the recognition of our rights over data is not enough. We need to build capacities to meaningfully preserve and leverage our data in impactful ways. And although we have been collecting data, significant gaps remain, leaving many of our communities behind. That's why, as directed by Chiefs in Assembly, the First Nations Information Governance Centre and its regional partners developed a strategy from the ground up with the goal of building data capacities that our communities and leaders need. This strategy, our plan, is all about establishing fully functional, non-political, and expert-driven regional information governance centers, one in every region led by First Nations. These regional centers, or regional hubs, will provide a suite of shared data and statistical services to all communities, their governments, advocacy organizations, and service delivery agencies. Leveraging economies of scale in every region, communities and organizations will have access to the digital infrastructure and professional expertise they need to govern, access, and repatriate their data, leveraging its power. So what's next? Implementation will be community-driven and nation-based, rolling out in phases. Phase 1 starts now with the recruitment of a dedicated data champion team in every region that will engage leadership and help them define how these regional centers will be governed and what priority data capacities and services will they offer. To build a solid foundation, this first phase needs to focus on the blueprints before we start to invest in the brick and mortar. This work is expected to take about 3 years, with each region advancing at its own pace. Once completed, we will move to Phase 2, and that's when we will bring our blueprints to life. Never has the timing been so right and the opportunity so within our reach. Our leaders have been trailblazing this path for years, and the Canadian government has responded with significant funding to implement our plan. With this strategy, we will build our own data governance and statistical institutions, and they will be equipped with the modern capacities we need to hold and use all our data. It will be our legacy for the next 7 generations to come.